What's up, Hippo lovers? Vivi against Yhinghua here in the quarterfinals for King of the Desert 2, sponsored tournament by Memp and organized by him as well. We have those two players fighting for a spot in the semifinals against Mr. Leary, and with me will be Onlu, the lovely. He's already typing, as we can hear.
Oh, sorry. gotta turn chat off. But yeah. Hello.
Do you think that's so necessary for his only casters anyways? Like, I rarely see someone chat.
I think it's more of like I know it's like instinct for Mem in T90, and then I just don't want to have to deal with all of the other casters turning chat off. So it's like a a prisoner's dilemma sort of thing, where like nobody wants to have to turn chat off, but because some people are, everyone's turning chat off.
Is that a restart? Let me check the rules.
Someone have a bugged map.
Well, the stone is not too great.
Read
through the rules.
This is why we cast with grid.
Rules
it's
and
3
settings.
tiles open. Isn't it 3 tiles that is the minimum?
I will see. Where's the rulebook?
It's on AoE zone, I know that.
Okay, handbook. I'm on it. And
Nilly AoE attorney at law.
okay. General guidelines. Cheating, communication, game rules. Game restarts. Admin restarts. Less than 5 tiles of a goal because it's accessible. Less than 4 tiles of a player-specific stone are accessible on one side. That's an admin restart.
Yeah, that's an admin re. I'm surprised, because...
Should be admin re.
Yeah. But is it incumbent upon the players to ask for the admin re?
No, it's... the admins have to do it.
Oh, okay.
Less than 4 tiles of a player-specific stone are accessible on one side. Extra stones don't... particular players are excluded. Okay. Yeah.
An admin re is when a player's map is bugged in some way, in that they just inherently have an unfair disadvantage. So they, in this case, Vivi doesn't have access to a stone, or at least not easily.
Yeah, and isn't there Crazini as well?
Crazini is the admin.
Yeah. He should be in the room. He shouldn't say chat off.
Crazini is definitely in the room.
And I think that's the pause where they got messaged.
Yep. And yes, the stone is definitely bugged by the definition of the tournament handbook.
Bugged. Robo's sick as well. So incredible. Everyone from Manchester sick.
See, I was spared. I was spared the plague by having a ton of homework.
Clever.
Yes.
Vivi is able to access his stone, but he's only able to access 3 tiles of it, and you need 4 tiles to be considered a legitimate stone.
Yeah, so it's most likely going to be an admin restart.
Yeah.
Although, like, could Vivi consider to refuse the admin restart? Like, just say, okay, I like my map enough, I will still play it.
His map's not half bad otherwise. I mean, the stone, yes, it's a little hard to get, but
If you build a
3
lumber
tiles
camp there,
is honestly fine for stone.
I think if he
Like if it's in the
builds a
back of
lumber
your
camp
base,
there,
yeah,
I think he will easily get that anyways.
yeah. But yeah, gold in the back. His map's pretty wallable. The hill in the front of his base is kind of annoying, but it's at least manageable just because it's a wall and it's moving on.
Well, we'll always move on. The question is, will
Yeah.
it move past 620?
Isn't it because the spec delay or like the host timer increasing in increments of what is that 3 or 4? Doesn't
Yeah.
that mean it's still going?
Yeah, true. So they might just continue.
I guess we're keep on keeping on. Anyway,
Early farm. Early double
yeah,
farm from Vivi.
it's just Farm City over here. Well, I mean, I guess they are Celts, for us having the better wood income. Vivi taking a little bit of damage on his scout, but Yhinghua seems to be doing much better this game. His map's not looking so great, though, especially compared to his opponents. The wood line is fairly exposed. Yeah, his stone's in the back, but the golds are very much exposed for our blue player.
Uh-oh, speaking of blue player and exposed, look at his scout. Uh-oh, but one villager going down to 10 HP needs to micro that to the side, and wow, what a nice trap here by Vivi.
Yep, well done. Age of Gates indeed. And now I'm sure Yhinghua was hoping that was an admin restart. Yeah, but that's obviously quite unfortunate for him. Not really off to the best start in this series. But, you know, before the scout died, he was still able to take 2 zebra. So at least he'll have that going for him. Both players likely going to be clicking up on the 22 population, or what would be 22 if for Yhinghua, and likely just going to be men-at-arms here.
I don't like the barracks placement by Vivi. I think 1 tile further to the top or 3 times further to the south would be a bit better. There is a potential to trap a militia in the woodline there.
Oh yeah, you know some militia is going to be trapped right there. Or spearmen, or something like that.
Is he going aggressively with one villager? Interesting.
Did you just forget who you were casting right there, Nelly?
Vivi. Yeah, but normally like 4 would make sense, but he's just sending 1 randomly to build a tower behind the woodline apparently.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a not very hard committal to the aggression, but it's a lot easier to be sneaky with just a single villager. And I think if Vivi towers the right location, it should be impossible for Yhinghua to scout because the lumber camp won't give him enough line of sight to see to the edge of the wood line.
Oh, not the best walls here for Yhinghua, walling very... well, for a very small area. Went for 4 militia against only 3 of Vivi.
Yep, and without the scout there from Vivi, he will be at a total disadvantage. We'll be grabbing the men-at-arms upgrade a little bit faster, but that won't really make too much of a difference. Obviously, the speedy Celt infantry going to be a symmetrical bonus, so Vivi won't have to take the engagement right there. And this tower should be coming up totally unscouted, and indeed it is.
Oh man, and that's ugly. What other woodline is he taking? One at the front, not too great either. Right-hand side, very small.
Yeah, and actually the men-at-arms are just going to totally pass each other. And, oh, villager already down there from Vivi, who was likely trying to go for a wall. But, yeah, this is just a mess already for both players.
Tries to wall those men-at-arms in now. No archer production started. Very low on gold here. And feels like Vivi with a bit of a better start.
Yeah, Vivi is definitely, I would say, at a better start. He is down a villager right now, but the villagers on the woodline for Yhinghua were trapped like the proverbial fish in a barrel. And yeah, they're going to have to run through the gauntlet of a bunch of men-at-arms and a scout to get to the town center. 1 villager down, 2 villagers down, likely going to be 3, and indeed it is. And I guess that will somehow only give Vivi one villager advantage. Is he losing stuff at home too? Well, the men-at-arms are actually running right past the town center, but villagers running for the TC in safety, and now archers are out for a red player.
You say archers, it's actually only one, and one against 4 reasonably healthy men-at-arms. He needs to wall at home and his wood line. Let's take a look. Not really focusing on that. Could be a mistake. No. Uh-oh, that's still open. Woodline is still open.
That's definitely still open. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-O. And indeed, Yhinghua going to find himself into the wood line of his opponent. As you're saying, the men-at-arms are still mostly full HP. And that's going to be at least another dead villager. That villager had really bad pathing for some reason. And she will die as well. And despite heavy losses, Yhinghua going to be sitting at a 3-villager advantage right now. Going to be feeling pretty good about things.
Oh man, I didn't expect that. Big hiccups by both of them. And archer defense should be somewhat fine on both sides, but well, not the cleanest game from either player.
Definitely not. And going into this series, you would expect that, right? Vivi is a player who definitely thrives on turning games into a mess. Speaking of that, already
What? He's running through the GC as well?
Oh man, that was definitely quite sloppy there from Yhinghua, losing 2 villagers at a minimum. Will likely just be the 2. So his lead has been reduced to just 1 villager, but that is still a lead right there. And both players are going to clean up each other's armies. But yeah, as I was saying, Vivi's someone who can definitely take advantage of turning the game into an absolute mess. Yhinghua, I would say, is probably a much more standard player normally. At least as far as the Chinese players go, probably a little bit more of the walling side of the Chinese player spectrum. As he is, of course, an SY player. But definitely, I think this game should be at least fairly even, despite both players taking heavy losses. They both have good farming ecos, both going into the archers now.
Yeah, but yeah, equally heavy losses. That's why we have this weird game. Horrible, well, wood lines for both of them. Vivi's second lumber camp not too pretty either. Let's take a look. Maybe
the lumber camp in the little indent.
Yeah, it could have been so much better.
Yeah.
Oh man. Maybe Vivi can do something if he sneaks around a bit more to the right-hand side and gets to the woodline, but it seems like he might be running into Yhinghua's army, which consists of archers and skirmishes.
Yep, of course we do have the mixed army for Yhinghua that will give him a pretty heavy advantage in an actual engagement. Both players have the fletching upgrade, and I believe it's just 1 archery range apiece. Yes, it is. So pretty much mirrors so far, but skirmishers are chasing the archers, but if these archers want, they can probably suicide in to get some villager kills, but Yhinghua definitely reacting, pulling all the villagers on the wood line. That's obviously quite a lot of idle time.
Oh man, don't you think that maybe some quick walls could have been better there? Just 3 houses than pulling all the villagers?
Maybe. I mean, 3 houses is a lot of wood, right? 75 wood.
Well, you don't need to finish those.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Just 2 stone gates or something. Because there was a solid like 200-300 wood left. I lost.
Yeah, that probably sounds correct. But yeah, obviously not the cleanest defense there from Yhinghua so far. Military count's dead even. I mean, just the populations are pretty much dead even right now. It's going to come down to micro. Notably, though, Yinghua's army does comprise more skirmishers. He does not have the extra armor upgrade, whereas Vivi does. Doesn't matter in skirmisher v skirmisher, but it certainly matters as far as archers are concerned. And looks like everything should be even if and when this fight actually takes place.
Well, for now, no one really having interest in taking that fight. Yhinghua, well, you could benefit from that one. What's the next woodline Yhinghua will take?
Probably the one to the far north of the map, if I had to guess. It's gonna keep working that way, and that does indeed appear to be the case. Even built a tower on his original woodline. We'll start slowly working away at the Tower of Vivi.
Weird.
And I'm pretty sure Yhinghua has wheelbarrow, whereas Vivi does not.
Oh, Vivi's getting it now.
Yeah, Yhinghua has it. So Yhinghua has a solid 2 to 3 villager lead right now.
Okay. Good for him. Vivi +1/+1 on his archers. Yhinghua the same. Do we see the big engagement coming that we were waiting for? For now, Yhinghua just camping it out. I think he needs to wall even more to really secure his woodlines.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to want to stretch those walls all the way to the north of the map, as his base is going to be quite tricky to defend. Vivi's making a big play, running all the way around to the west of Yinghua's base. And as it's only one palisade wall, these ranges can poke through pretty quickly. Our blue player's up on his way to the castle age. Vivi's still quite far away, but Yinghua's got to be careful not to take even more villager losses right now.
Let's take a look. Adds another archer range. That's kind of weird. Okay, yeah, deletes it as well. Only at one archer range. Vivi, meanwhile, is only sitting at one as well. Kind of weird that we see so big numbers and actually both producing only out of one.
Yeah, I mean, they really haven't been losing significant amounts of army. They've just kind of been poking and prodding at each other. Most of the losses have actually just been villagers and then the initial men-at-arms. But, yep, Vivi will be forced away a little bit for the time being, and as he won't be clicking up for another 30 seconds or so, this should be a pretty nice advantage here for Yhinghua as he gets to the castle age well ahead of his opponent.
And the lead skirmisher, he can really pressure. But Vivi is expecting that and is preparing the night switch.
But so is Yhinghua. Both players having similar ideas here, which, you know, when both players have armies that primarily comprise skirmishers, Knight's obviously going to be super effective against that. But our blue player is going to be there much faster. Though, to be fair, Vivi's base is pretty well defended.
Yeah, one very small opening at the front, one defensive tower at the gold, even builds a defensive tower at the woodline. Vivi, he shouldn't take too many losses on the other side. Once we get Vivi to sneak through, he could get a lot of kills.
Yeah, there are about 10,000 holes in this pseudo wall for Yhinghua, so Vivi could easily sneak through with some knights. A little bit of a scuffle here at the middle of the map. Looks like maybe a slightly better engagement for Yhinghua, nothing too catastrophic one way or the other. Plus 2 armor already on the way here for our blue player. Only has the one stable, is building the second one right now.
So is Vivi, so we'll see lots of knights. Vivi even switching to some spearmen now. Kind of weird. Don't really know if that's a great addition.
Yeah, the spearmen are just going to die pretty horribly to the skirmishers, as there are still plenty left for both players. So not really a big fan of that play, but yeah, I don't really see Vivi taking much damage right now. Though to be fair, he's not really in a position where he has good TC spots to boom away.
Well, for now, it's mainly night production. Both players are way too open to really go for the big boom, but yeah, you're right. It will be kind of tricky. Maybe delete the walls, and he can build one at the put at the bottom. And well, Vivi, he saved all his army and could now go for the sneak around.
Vivi being Mr. Sneaky Beaky and grabbing Elite Skirmisher and Bodkin. I don't think we saw the same from Yhinghua. Yeah, he's not investing in Elite Skirmisher or anything like that. He's just going full on into the Knights. And to be fair, with those numbers of Spearmen and the Knights for Vivi, Yhinghua will be scared away. And already losing 2, likely to be 3 villagers, maybe even more. And that will be 4.
Oh man, and that's ugly for sure. We'll break that wall as well. Let's take a look. Could easily be cleared up by +1/+2 knights, but Vivi, he's sending everything to the top as well. Adds a monastery. That could be a pretty big engagement pretty soon. Although, well, looks like Yhinghua will clear it up anyways.
That is about as good of a position as Vivi could possibly get right there. So that's going to be not too bad from him, but of course, with the skirmishers, it's not like archers. If you get the super juicy position, having them all clumped up on one tile, the skirmishers have the minimum range, so it's a lot harder for them to be as effective. Also, they just tickled knights, not really going to do a whole lot right there. Was that worth it for Vivi? He got around 4 villager kills, pulled the entire army of his opponent back, but he just lost absolutely everything in the process. our blue player is still up to the 3 TCs right now. Vivi just now throwing down TCs 2 and 3. I think Yhinghua can be pretty happy with how that went.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Killing all the army that already was upgraded. And, well, maybe he took some villages with him, but I think having an additional 20 ranged units could have really helped him out in future fights here. But it feels this will be mainly knight against knight added with some monks.
Yep, that definitely seems to be on the table right now, but of course we have to imagine that Yhinghua is going to be at a pretty hefty advantage here. Much faster onto the 3 TCs, already working with around a 7 or so villager lead, already has several monks out. Vivi with just the one so far, even just now getting Bowsaw, whereas Yhinghua got that the second he hit Castle Age, so definitely heavily favoring Blue's position right now.
Okay, so what are the next steps? Oh, pikeman upgrade for Vivi. Does that mean he's going for some castle age aggression, or is it more for defense?
I think both are reasonable here for Vivi. I'm pretty sure he still only has the one barracks. Yeah, so just the one barracks. That sort of leads me to believe it's going to be defensive pikeman, while he tries to get his economy stabilized, maybe even up to a castle, and then of course switching into road raiders. But his base is fairly exposed right now, and Yhinghua might not give him the opportunity to peacefully boom away, as his knights are a-coming.
Well, let's take a look. First engagement here in the center, gets one conversion here of one knight, loses the monk, kills one skirmisher, pikeman there for the defense in the center. Don't think we will see too many kills here on either side.
Yeah, not likely, I would say. Vivi actually running right into the Knights of Yhinghua, taking a lot of free hits right there. Also notably, Yhinghua does have slightly better upgrades on his Knights, but Yhinghua just has so few Knights actually forward right now that maybe he'll be able to deny the 4th TC of Vivi for a little bit. I think the Knight for Yhinghua actually, or the Monk for Yhinghua actually did get conversion before it died.
Yes, it did.
So yeah, that's looking pretty good here for a blue player once again. Just getting these sort of small advantages.
Uh-oh, and speaking of small advantages, Yhinghua getting a nice rating against those villagers here trying to build a CC. TC even cancelled, that's kind of questionable to me. Why did he need to cancel that one? And more villagers going down. Vivi underreacting to this.
Vivi definitely underreacting to this. I mean, I thought that maybe the Knights could have delayed the TC a little bit. I guess I didn't realize how much damage the Knights were going to be able to do for Yhinghua now. Comfortable 12 villager advantage, pushing Vivi on all sides. I mean, he has over doubled the army of his opponent right now.
Uh-oh, and Vivi, he's going for the pikeman aggression. Second barracks now, and I think he will try to make a push happen. Yhinghua with TC number 4, and well, now it's really nice that he still has a couple of skirmishes left over for him against the potential pikeman push.
Yeah, I think if and when Yhinghua sees all of these pikemen from Vivi, I think he can just grab the Elite Skirmisher upgrade, grab Bodkin Arrow, and just be pretty comfortable in terms of just poking them off before, you know, they actually engage the Knights. And it's not like the pikemen are super well upgraded, just getting +1 defense right now.
Huh. Okay, +1 defense, but the push will take some time, right? Only now getting Emmanuel pretty far away. Defensive castle at the gold spot. I don't see Vivi doing anything here in castle.
Yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful spot for this castle defensively. Guards a huge swath of the front of Yinghua's base, lets him take his main gold, helps provide covering fire for the TC at the front. And I am just really liking how Yinghua's playing this. Just totally solid, not taking any sort of crazy risks, just taking these sort of small advantages. But the armies are likely going to pass each other right now. But I think one player has a defensive castle and the other doesn't, and I feel like that might be the difference maker here.
Yeah, and it's also like the potential to build Road Riders, which is basically the unit you want to have in this matchup. Just so sweet, and indeed we will have some raids for Yhinghua, who's now even on the way to Imp.
Dang. Yinghua's macro is rock solid by the looks of things. Gonna be able to get even a couple conversions on some knights. The pikemen will very slowly poke down these monks, but I mean, with the armies, distracted running back and forth, this is just buying time for our blue player to get up to the Imperial Age. And yeah, even getting the infantry armor upgrade, I assume those are Woad Raiders in the castle. Yes, they are. And yeah, Woad Raiders, they're pretty good against monks, pikemen, and siege.
Yeah, especially if someone wants to make something happen here with the castle age push. And yeah, he most likely will get some villagers and the TC at the front, but that will be the end after that. Meanwhile, the forward tower actually cleared up by Vivi, or by Yhinghua. The forward tower was from Vivi. That means moving to the left hand side is an option again. But what's the next step? How do you play against Road Raiders if you don't have a castle yourself?
Well, as you were alluding to a minute ago, Woad Raiders are just kind of like the end-all unit in this matchup, I feel. Celts have very poor archers, and maybe scorpions if you're very well protecting them, but obviously Woad Raiders are so quick that they can usually just dive the scorpions, and as far as other anti-infantry options go, the Celts are pretty much non-existent in that department, so it's really just who can make more Woad Raiders and get the damage done better, and I definitely have to give that advantage to Yhinghua in this scenario. He's going to be up way faster to the Imperial Age, he has the castle, and yeah, this might even be an imp GG.
We'll see. I think Vivi will play on a bit longer. He will get a castle up himself. Maybe, where is he getting it? Oh, very much in the center here. Makes a lot of sense. Instant elite Vote Raider upgrade.
Dang, I mean, Yinghua's macro has just been on point this game. 4 TCs, 117 villagers. And yeah, he still also has a pretty hefty amount of knights left over from Castle Age. And there are so few pikemen left. Yinghua's been doing a very nice job of just picking off straggler groups of pikemen that I feel like even the knights are going to get some damage done. And that's just the cherry on top of the Woad Raiders who are now they're coming in, and there is not a whole lot here to defend for Mr. Vivi.
+1, +4 will eat some conversions against them. Well, it's retreating. Thing is, now the area in the center becomes really important. Who's having the map control? Did we take a look at who has relics or who has extra golds? Relics, actually 2-2.
Yep, both players have a couple relics to their name. Vivi has one villager on the stone mine to the very far east of the map. Nobody's on the neutral resources to the west of the map. So I'd say map control is pretty even. Vivi does have control of this big hill overlooking the front of his base, which is pretty nice for him, but just in terms of Woad Raider producing capabilities, it's just going to super heavily favor Yhinghua. And yeah, now even taking one of the neutral golds in the middle of the map as well.
Okay, it's good for him, and well, that's easily raidable for sure, but for now, it's Yhinghua who decides who is raiding. Only 13 population ahead. The military count is quite low.
Yeah, definitely. We've been seeing Yhinghua favoring killing his opponent's eco at the cost of his military count. He's not super far ahead, though. Vivi is on 4 TCs, so he'll be able to replenish dead villagers without too much problem. But I'm pretty sure the tech advantage is pretty heavily in favor of Yhinghua, as Vivi doesn't have the elite upgrade for his Woad Raiders, only at +1, +2, as opposed to +2, +4. And also, yeah, Yhinghua should be able to pull ahead in a potential Treb War as well. And with the power of his macro, like we've been saying, just look at his bank. Doesn't have a lot of food, but that is enough wood and gold for a lot of Celt Siege.
Oy. Well, Celt Siege not too important at this stage of the map, is just super open. I think mainly going for boats, but yeah, as you said, the upgrade advantage is what's really carrying him at the moment.
Well, not likely going to be seeing a ton of, rams or onagers or stuff, but definitely trebuchets are going to be pretty important at knocking down your opponent's castles, especially in this matchup that is so heavily dominated by the Civ's unique unit. Nice quick house walls here for Yhinghua. No, never mind, there's a hole.
And that has been there for quite some time then, right?
That has to have been there for like the entire game then, and just neither player noticed it till right now. So, there was an attempt made, to say the least. Meanwhile, Siege Workshop's coming down right now for our blue player. Did have a lot of his villagers raided at the gold mine, but this castle will help secure any future villagers that go over there, and the ram push is beginning. And I mean, again, just speaking to the better economy and just raw macro of Yhinghua, he's already at 200 population, nearly over double the army of his opponent.
Oh man, and Elite Boat only now coming in. And I said, well, we won't see a lot of siege, but Yhinghua, he feels like pushing to the right hand side could be an option. Has the castle there, will go in for some raids at the right and left hand side. Pure domination from him at the moment.
Oh yeah, just totally. I mean, honestly, just wrecking Vivi right now from this mid game onwards. And yeah, the Woad Raider engagement, yes, Elite came in for a red player, but Yhinghua already has the +4 attack as opposed to the +1 attack of his opponent, also able to take the downhill fight right there. I mean, this is definitely very rapidly approaching GG levels, as there are actually, well, there's a lot of Rams queued up here at the Siege Workshop of Yhinghua, can even afford getting Siege Ram upgraded, and indeed he is doing so right now. 4k gold in the bank, 2k wood, and Vivi's got less than 1,000 of every resource. The Wood Raider's even just right-clicking the castle right now.
Oh man, yeah, but they're dying at the left hand side, so that will be stopped. Not the greatest engagement here for Yhinghua. Let's take a look at the push at the right hand side. That could come any second.
Yep, definitely. This is where all the action is going to be happening. Vivi does have he has a sizable eco of his own. Boater is actually running right past the castle. Siege Ram's now still chilling in the Siege Workshop, not jumping out just yet, but this is gonna have to be doing some massive damage here for Yhinghua.
Oh, at the moment 120 villagers, but more and more going down. Look at that big raid here. And the Ram push, well, he even waits for Celtica, giving him some more HP. Let's take a look. 15 villagers went down in that raid, and I think he is not finished yet.
Oh no, this raid is nowhere near done. As well, the Woad Raiders are living up to their name, as they have Woad painting on them, and they are indeed raiding. And with Fuhrer Celtica, yeah, these Siege Rams have like 378 HP or something in that ballpark. Even if
left-hand side castle, sorry for interrupting you. That was a lot of villagers going down there, even another monk, and well, that's pretty ugly. Vivi wanted to control that area, but that's not going to happen. Raid in the back as well. I think once Vivi sees those Rams going for the attack, we might see the GG.
Yeah, I really don't see much of a capacity for Vivi to stop this. The military counts are actually not too far apart, around 20 in favor of our blue player, but the Rams have been unleashed right now. And yeah, ain't no monk gonna be stopping that, and Vivi instantly calling the GG there. Game number 1 going to our number 27 seed in this tournament.
Sick. Well, it really shows you that those Chinese sometimes don't really care too much about raiding. That was the main factor for the seeding in this tournament. And Yhinghua, together with Lux, probably the two guys that are surprising the most. Incredible players from SY, but not really on the, well, most known world in the 1v1 area.
Yeah, definitely not. I've always been a really big fan of how Lix and Yhinghua have been playing in team games ever since I first started watching them back in the old Nations Cup days. And yeah, I mean, I think this has definitely been a little bit of a breakout tournament for both Lix and Yhinghua, I feel. Lix obviously did get eliminated yesterday, but that was such a close series against, Yo, one of the best players in the world. And if Yhinghua takes this series, I think people are really going to have to start paying much more attention to him, as Yhinghua beating Doubt and Lan to get here. And obviously Lan, not as big a name, but certainly Doubt is. And
Lan beat Tim before that as well.
Exactly. And Lan was playing good too. Like, Lan's late game was sick in that series. I don't know if you were able to watch that one, but it was a really great series, all 5 games. But yeah, love to see how things end up here in game number 2.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. We will take a look at the tips, and I will talk to you in a minute, because Spectator already started. Goofy Cop, thanks for your prime 20 minutes ago, but I didn't want to mention it because I wanted to cast as well. So we're now out of Celts for both players, still Slavs left for both, and well, seems pretty evenish when it comes to the civilizations, I'd say. And we're instantly starting game after game. Take it away, Orlu.
Will do, sir. We have the Fat Dragon himself, the only tower, the Vivi here in the red, losing game number 1 in the Celt War against Yhinghua, but he'll be to the east of the map as the Incas, and winning game number 1, definitely in a little bit of an upset. Like I said, this is the number 27 seed against the number 3 seed, but obviously really strong game number 1. Let's see if he can keep it up in this best of 5. We will have Yhinghua in the blue as the Mongols.
And we see instant lane from Vivi. Look at how, yeah, he only found his 4 starting sheep and instantly tried to go for the lane here. Spots the TC, sees the berries. Let's take a look what he can steal. Look at Yhinghua even trying to send his goats away. Funny.
Run, little goats. Oh man, feels bad, man. Of course, as the Mongols, Yhinghua is going to be wanting to take the zebra, as Mongols with Hunt is, you're just feeling on top of the world. You feel like you have all the food, and right now, Vivi has yet to find a boar.
He scouted a bit too close to the TC here. Maybe 1-2 tiles further would have been better. And, well, even then, the distance might be pretty long. Both boars in the bag. Quite fortunate for Yhinghua.
Yeah, definitely pretty lucky for him as far as that's concerned. The rest of his map is actually pretty bad, in that most of his resources are pretty far forward. It's not the easiest map in the world to wall. Though it looks like Vivi will eventually find this boar, and indeed he does. Let's see if he goes for it. Well, actually, Yhinghua is going for it as well, but this could be a bit of a villager block right here.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
That was risky. Risky. He doesn't have a reset anymore. Yhinghua, he saw the eagle so early and didn't try to... Oh god, that was not clever.
Not at all. Not a great start here for Mr. Yhinghua. To be fair, he also had a pretty bad start in the last game, where he got his scout trapped. So definitely, Vivi is showing his class in the early game, showing, you know, why everyone is terrified to play him.
But he instantly saw the eagle, right? He should have known that the eagle could be around. Why do you go without loom, super early villager, without scout protection? That's just unnecessarily risky.
The eagle went away?
And it might happen again. What is this?
He has loom this time, though.
But, okay, well, Vivi screwed up.
Yeah.
But this could have been another dead villager.
It could have. It could have definitely been another dead villager. But Yhinghua will still be able to grab the boar eventually. However, Vivi is still... He knows where the other boar is, so he could just go for the lame in terms of either poking away at the villager or just stealing the boar himself.
He wants to go for the villager kill. Let's take a look. Could be the second one. Eagle now better positioned. And this might be a dead villager. Look at that. Hill bonus needed is used as well. 20 HP, 14 HP, 8 HP. And this might be a dead villager. 2 HP.
Jump!
He's jumping in.
Jump for it! Oh, just barely getting the shot off. No! No. Oh, no!
And the eagle still at 32 HP.
Oh, no. Gaia definitely working in tandem with Vivi right now.
Look at that, the scout out of position again. This is so bad.
No. The board's getting the downhill hits there too.
Are you kidding me? Oh, 13 HP, 5 HP. This should be dead villager.
No,
the scout is blocking. Oh, beautiful play. Beautiful play by Yhinghua.
The villager walked towards the ball right there.
Oh
no! He did
no!
Nearly cry.
Oh. Oh god.
Oh god.
2 dead villagers.
Vivi has a 3 villager advantage right now. Okay, like they're still clicking up at the same time because obviously Mongols will still be able to click up, but 8-minute 3-second uptime, not what you're wanting with Mongols.
Oh god. I didn't even realize that he's Mongols as well. Oh god, this is so bad. Okay guys, don't get overexcited. It's a 2 villager lead, right? Vivi did delay loom. But still, 4 villagers forward, man and arm aggression, Yhinghua. He is in a world of pain here.
Oh yeah, Inkas actually has, I think, a pretty good win rate in this tournament so far. Just a really solid civ. Definitely the most sort of flexible of all of the Amerindian civilizations, and yeah, still with a really scary Amade tower forward, as the villagers will benefit from any armor upgrades. Cheaper stone cost on the tower is going to be more useful early on, but this could be really painful here for Mr. Yhinghua.
Let's take a look. 3 men-at-arms already coming forward. There's a lot of resources in the bank though for Yhinghua, so he will get some scouts out. But look at all his gold spots. All of them super open, stone, all to the north as well. Oh, the forward at the perfect spot as well.
Yeah, if Vivi gets a tower up on this hill, and indeed he will, and then maybe like one more tower, that's going to be no stone for Mr. Yhinghua, and this might be incredibly painful for him.
Being annoying here at the berries. Let's take a look. Is he on stone? Yes, he did send 3 villagers on stone as well. Men-at-arms now trying to take the engagement. I'm not sure if that's the best option ever. Won't really get too many kills in here. Next tower should be around the corner, and then Yhinghua suddenly down to a 3 farm food eco?
The 3 farm food eco, all the alliteration right there. But yeah, more towers are coming, and this is not looking particularly defensible right now here for Yhinghua. 5 villagers building this tower. I feel like you probably need to invest more, and indeed he is. So I think both towers are going to come up.
Yeah, both towers will come up for sure. This is how important that will be. Is he committing there? Okay.
Oh, going to try and wall in the villagers. Not going to be successful, unfortunately, for Yhinghua. And yeah, I mean, it's going to take a while for this tower to fall from Vivi. Will cause a lot of idle time.
But Yhinghua now with 3 scouts, can he maybe do something? Go this wall in, but spearmen all going to the front. Maybe they can find something at the woodline or berries.
Yeah, possibly. Though, for some reason, I guess Vivi's macro hasn't been on point, because he's now only 1 villager ahead, whereas he was 2 villagers ahead before. So that's kind of weird to me. Heard a dead unit somewhere.
Did he lose one of his forward villagers? No. Okay. Oh, that's a bossy tower.
Oh, okay there, Vivi. Might want to calm down a little bit on that one.
I think he could have walled that one in, right? Okay, now taking a fight with the hill here. Will snag some villagers for sure, or will he?
He got 1 villager for sure. 1 last villager's on 1 HP. Will be able to escape just barely, but look at all this idle time here for Yhinghua. That is not what he's been wanting to see. And on the other side, Vivi, with the power of a couple spearmen and some nice quick walls, he is looking to be in a fantastic position in defending himself and applying aggression at the same time.
Yeah, and we already said stone is very poorly positioned here for Yhinghua. That means, I think, just a full, like, double, triple barracks, eagle aggression should be pretty much unstoppable for Yhinghua.
Yeah, I think it should be really strong. I mean, like, already on paper, I think that Incas are fantastic in this matchup against Mongols, as their eagle warriors can prove to be a bit tricky for any of the ranged units, and even Kamioks can be really good, strong against the cavalry units. And of course, Incas are just so strong at like applying pressure via towers and such that it can oftentimes keep Mongols off of stone, and that is exactly what we saw this game. And yeah, now Yhinghua does have a much larger army right now. Does have 7 military, but not really in a particularly powerful position to actually, you know, do anything with it right now. As even +1 infantry armor is coming in for Vivi, which will also help his villagers.
And now eagle production started. Would love to see the second barracks and just play this a bit more aggressively. But well, he's playing it aggressively enough. Yhinghua trying to get archer numbers up now. But this will be tricky. Next tower coming very aggressively.
Next towers are coming, and with +1 armor done, those eagles are not going to be taking pretty much any damage. I mean, they're going to be taking 1 damage from all of the ranged units. Right now, there is only the 1 right now. Second one is leaving Vivi's base. But yeah, I mean, this tower doesn't appear to be stoppable right now. That's going to be forcing Yhinghua to make a great migration. True to the nomadic roots of the Mongols, going to the gold in the south right there.
Did he already research nomads or what?
Oh man, Cheatin getting the ever valuable castle tech.
Okay, so let's take a look. Forging now as well, and it indeed will be mass eagles here. And don't you love to play Incas here? Yhinghua tries to fall back onto another gold. Would really benefit from pledging as well, which he's getting now. I like his back base. Looks pretty funny there. Market, blacksmith, archery range, some walls, some houses, a mill.
Oh yeah, obviously, if you were a campaign designer, you would be very happy with this base. All the farms very perfectly positioned. Just need to add in some little waters to show the nice terracing of the rice fields. Perfect.
Vivi with a weird tower at the gold. Don't really understand that one too much.
His own gold?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, it helps defend him from the evil forces from the black area at the edge of the map, but it doesn't really help defend him from, Yhinghua, his opponent in the game.
Yeah, not really sure about that. Score still quite heavily in favor of Yhinghua. We'll clear about the Eagles now. Not sure if that's the greatest engagement for Vivi. Don't like that too much. And, well, that was a good fight for Yhinghua. Now heavy military advantage for him. 10-3.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the kill-death ratio, it's actually 12-4 in favor of our blue player. Which is pretty surprising, all things considered, but the villager count is still not looking very good for him whatsoever. And the thing is, most of the deaths of Vivi have just been his military units, and so long as he's able to defend against the incoming scouts from Yhinghua, I think he should be fine. We'll likely have a faster castle age time. Actually, no. Resources are looking better for Yhinghua.
Funnily enough, right? Oh, Eagle's taking good engagement against all the scouts here. And just remember that before the scout kill, the boss got as many kills as Vivi in this game.
That is true. that is very true. But yeah, Eagles, of course, will annihilate the ranged units. Not going to be as fantastic against the scouts, as Eagles do die. Well, I guess the Eagles with the +1/+1 probably beat the scouts in a 1v1 if I had to guess. Yhinghua actually grabbing Bloodlines and +1 cavalry armor, throwing down a second stable right now. I don't know if this is going to be for just knights in the Castle Age, but then why would he be getting these techs before the Castle Age? So I have to imagine this is going to be for heavy committal to scouts.
Heavy feudal age play for sure. Let's take a look. Eagles, they won't perform too well if we have all the upgrades on those scouts. Now fighting under the tower against the archers on the hill as well. Yeah, he will take away quite a lot of those scouts. But Vivi, those were some heavy losses again. Military count down to 3. I would love to see a third barracks from him.
Yeah, I think that, especially when you're not Aztecs, the third barracks is going to be pretty essential, just because 60-second creation time for an Eagle Warrior, I like to compare it to, it literally takes as long to make an Eagle Warrior as it does to build a market with one villager. That is a long time, but Vivi will still be able to be first up to Castle Age as his army is so much less food intensive, and have to see if he can possibly make something happen, as Yhinghua is still very far away from that upgrade.
And here, thinking that a market took only 50 seconds.
Nope, because I play the AoE 2 quiz game thing for mobile, and markets take 60 seconds to build.
Okay, that's still not available for iPhone.
Oh, you have an iPhone? Rip.
Yeah, feels nearly man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so good.
Oh yeah, it's fun, and it helps me know all the stats. But yeah. Vivi, I think, should be in a pretty good position. Once the Eagle Warrior upgrade comes in, the scouts are just going to totally melt, I feel.
Yeah, simply reaching Castle Age. It's just so much. Giving you +3 attack there in Castle Age. Just so sweet instantly. And, well, let's take a look. He's moving out. In my opinion, that's a bit unnecessarily early. Why would you ever lose a single eagle before Castle Age?
I don't think there is any good reason to do so. Yhinghua, using the market, will be able to click up. And to be fair, the scouts are a little bit out of position right there, and Castle Age coming in just a second. Not able to benefit from that extra +3 attack just now coming in. And with the extra attack coming in, those archers are going to have to be on the run.
Oh, man,
And yeah,
all the
definitely a very
upgrades.
messy situation here for Yhinghua.
That was just perfect for Vivi here. I questioned if it was maybe a bit too early, and yeah, he might have gotten some other or more kills in if he was there a bit later, but denying that for so long was just pretty for him. 3 barracks production continues, and well, I think he will just need to spam, and then it gets really tricky for a Mongol player to hold.
Yeah, especially with the base that's as hard to defend as Yinghua's, even having to open up the walls so he can have more space to farm. Yeah, I feel like Eagles running around everywhere can be really tricky to stop right now. Scouts are, again, fully upgraded, so that's probably going to be the best unit, possibly. That isn't, I guess, like a Men-at-Arm, but, well, I don't know if I like that from Vivi. I feel like he should try and mass up a little bit.
I think he's just trying to take some fights before Yhinghua is getting more upgrades on them, but yeah, maybe waiting for 1-2 more Eagles could have been nice. Let's take a look. I think he will win that fight because most of the scouts are now so low on HP.
Yeah, definitely. 3 of the 4 scouts were at 1 hit to be killed. Of course, they were killed in 1 hit. And behind this, Vivi is not remotely all in. He's getting up to 3 town centers. He is just looking so strong right now. And yeah, Yinghua will be going into the night production. But the awesome thing with going for Eagle Warriors is that you already have like half the upgrades you need to go and mix in a lot of pikemen into the mix.
Yeah, but he can just go mass Eagles for now. Just some raids in the back. Dutch stable there though. And then a raid again at the gold. And yeah, he's just having everything in his favor at the moment. He can just toy with Yhinghua.
Certainly. And even the raiding scout of Yinghua not going to get anything done against the +3 melee armor on the villagers. But, I mean, the Knights are going to be pretty cost-efficient against the Eagle Warriors, so it looks like they will be cleaned up eventually, but already in an 11-villager deficit right now for our blue player, and I don't see any extra TCs from him, so yeah, not looking so good at all.
Look at the right-hand side, small debate in there. One scout pulled 2 villagers out, and it's now taking the 2v1 fight here. But this fight is taking way longer than normally. Bloodlines and +2 defense against villagers with +2 defense as well and +1 attack will actually win the 2v1 fight here.
Yep. Gotta love those Inca villagers.
Oh man.
And, well, more Eagles coming in for a run by, but this might be running right into the meat grinder.
Oh, yeah.
Or, I guess, poultry grinder in this case. As, yeah, lots and lots of Knights here for our blue player. I mean, despite Yinghua being in a really bad position, I've really been impressed by his, like, just macro this game. Like, he just always seems to have so many units and a fairly good economy despite taking a lot of losses. And, yeah, right now, Vivi's on the run.
But still, Yhinghua, how can he ever get onto something here? It's just one base mass Knights from him. That's not really where Mongols shine.
Not at all. And, well, we already have some monks coming in for Vivi. Like I said, easy switch over into pikemen. Even a 4th TC on the forward gold for Vivi, and I feel like his economy is just going to be getting ahead by so far right here. I mean, it's really, in my opinion, like the greatest strength of Vivi is just, you know, 1, throwing the game into absolute chaos, and 2, knowing how to boom behind the aggression and just get a huge economic lead. Monk, not actually able to get a conversion right there.
Weird. Took quite some time and still didn't finish it. Military count better for Yhinghua, though he is full Knights. Maybe he can make something happen, but well, he needs to kill like 10, 15 villagers at least. And this will be tricky.
Yeah, especially, yeah, with pikeman production from 3 barracks, should be pretty good. Still plenty of Eagles left. It's not like Vivi threw them all away. And now the Fat Dragon is throwing down the castle forward, helped by the 3 watchtowers. And actually, the one of the 2 stables, or I guess one of the 3 stables of Yhinghua is pretty low right there. And yeah, now Yhinghua running home, not what you want to be doing in a situation where your opponent's economy is so significantly far ahead. Getting a little bit of damage around the periphery of Vivi's economy, but yeah, this castle's coming in, and it's not going to get stopped. And it's not looking good for Yhinghua.
It's also really nice that with the defense of those on those villagers, you need 5 hits now instead of 4 with the knights. And, well, just lets them survive a bit longer. And that castle kind of is the nail in the coffin. No chance to ever get onto gold here for Yhinghua. He's trying to go for the counterattack, and if this counterattack fails, I think the game is over.
Yeah, and on top of the castle being in a fantastic spot offensively, rather, it also opens the door for Kamyuks, which are hilariously good against cavalry.
Oh yeah, we have the CA switch now, but not a lot of gold left. 800 gold overall for Yhinghua here, and he's not really expanding to any extra gold. And take a look, some raids in the center. He's doing okay-ish, but taking a lot of losses at home as well.
Vivi, with another unlucky not conversion. But the pikeman will be at least cost efficient here, and that's exactly what Vivi needs right now, is he just needs to take some good cost efficient fights, and knows he has the better economy. He'll be doubling his opponent's villager count in the not too distant future.
Vivi with the sheep sling now. At the left hand side sends 2 of his sheep that he didn't find earlier over. Tries to give Yhinghua something back. Honestly, the score is super close, but the game is so over.
Oh yeah, it's one of those situations where the score is lying. Don't believe the score. It's just because the kill-death ratio of Yhinghua is actually insanely good. I'm also pretty sure his scouting is really good because he's Mongols. Yeah, that's definitely probably part of it. But, I mean, the position of Vivi is just so insane right now. He's going to be up to 5 town centers.
Okay, Yhinghua, he's sending some villagers forward. Where to? Is that the siege workshop? I don't really see where he's trying to go.
He's going somewhere. And right now it's into the waiting arms of all of these pikemen and a few eagle warriors that are, to be fair, going to be picked off by just the much beefier units of the Mongol player. But yeah, now we have the Omega Pokes, as I call them, the Kamyuks. And yeah, they're gonna be pretty hard to stop unless you send them in one by one.
Yeah, well, that one won't do too much, but yeah, just pikeman production, some more monks, and he will be super fine. More barracks at it. I think he shouldn't really go for too many more eagles. He's ahead by 50 villagers.
Yeah, I mean, Vivi can make like a unit that isn't absolutely horrible. Like, if so long as he's not going for like mass skirmishers or slingers, I think he's pretty much fine. Another castle coming forward. This one will be defensively for Vivi. Really nice spot on that forward hill. Oh, I learned Yinghua's trying to take his opponent's stone. That's not going to happen.
What was he thinking there?
I have absolutely no idea, man. But yeah, I mean, Vivi is just so far ahead right now.
That's even with bad fight after bad fight, right? He has been taking pretty poor fights for the last, I'd say, like 3-4 minutes now. I think he should really just group up.
Vivi is really just not getting together his army. He keeps on making eagles into stuff that kills eagles. But yeah, Yhinghua knows it's GG. I mean, it's literally over double the villagers for Vivi. The game was super over.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Well played by Vivi, and we will see at least 4 games.
Indeed we will. Got a series on our hands.
Oh.
Unlike the second series from yesterday.
Oh, man. Yeah, this series might be longer than the... Oh, yeah, already? Somewhat.
Probably.
After 2 games. Oh, man.
Anyway, I'm going to go grab some coffee. I'll see you in a couple minutes.
Okay. KD, better for Yhinghua. Vivi with the cheaper units, but could just spend them. Had the way better eco in the end. Way more villagers, as we mentioned as well. Not the prettiest game. Oh man, I already used 15 tissues during that stream. I think you need to step in. What for? What's going on? Okay, you want to have goldstones banned? Okay, let's take a look. Goldstones, account created 1st November. Goldstones. Well, isn't it obvious that Goldstones HD is just the Smurf? Happy now, guys? Sorry. Really, does it remind you of being a school teacher? Yes. What was going on? I didn't really follow. Thing is, aren't there any mods around that could have banned him? Weird. Well, Flo was here. I've taken care of that. Or Robo. Or Clemenza. School teacher? I used to. Yeah, I used to be. Okay, and we're jumping into game number 3 here. And music off. Casting screen on. And Vivi playing the Franks against Yhinghua's Indians. Oh boy, this will be interesting in Castle Age. Mass Knights.
Really, oh boy, to say the least.
Really, oh boy. So, tell me, Franks against Indians. It feels not really fair on paper, but if we play like Man-at-Arm Tower into Pikemen, it shouldn't be too bad for Franks, right?
Yeah, like honestly, like everyone's like Franks versus Indians, lol. But I feel like that's only looking at the Knights versus Camels dimension of it.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Franks have a kind of underratedly strong infantry tech tree, now that they got all the buffs to their throwing axemen, getting squires and stuff like that. I mean, they have the full barracks and they have throwing axemen and the cheap castles. You can do a really strong pikeman plus monk push, siege, that sort of thing. Have all the way up to halberdiers that are fully upgraded. And yeah, I think it could be really strong. That said, though, Franks pretty much unable to go for cavalry past the feudal age and having it be remotely effective. That's a bit of a bummer. Also, Franks, in my opinion, are pretty weak to cav archers, and Indians have those fully upgraded as well.
Okay, I just checked the market. It shows 60 seconds, by the way. Let me check again. So it's stable? Should be... That's 50 seconds.
Yep, what? Stables for 50 seconds, barracks, archer range, also about 50 seconds. Blacksmiths are, I think, 40 seconds.
Yes. I'm so confused.
I didn't know the app wasn't for iOS. It's such a great app. I totally recommend it. It's called AOE2 Database.
Yeah, it's so good. We used it. It has fun quiz, like what unit has 60 HP, 8 damage, and 3 range. Or something like that. And yeah, the armor is also listed there. And then you have to type it in. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's actually really hard. Well, some of them are, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're sitting there with 4 people and still didn't get everything right.
Yeah, I've gotten all of the tech tree quizzes right, civilization quizzes, unit recognition, unique text, but I'm still trying to work on the unit and building stats and technology stats because that's just a lot of numbers to remember.
Okay, let's. Oh, okay, I need to talk to my chat a bit, and I'm back in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, sorry guys for missing so much earlier. We have Smidley with the Prime, Mac Palmenheim also with the Prime. Yeah, I couldn't cast the earlier matches because I was traveling. And now I'm back, but sick. I still hope you enjoyed the show. Robo's our, not Robo, Onlu's our co-cast, and we might see the lame again.
Oh, lame attempt. Oh, not again!
Oh,
Why?
and the boar's running back.
Oh my god.
But why? Oh god. Oh.
Why?
He's sending another one. Vivi's just standing there again.
Another lamb to the slaughter.
Can he commit there?
This one looks like he'll make it home.
Yeah. But ball placement.
He'll be making it home for Christmas, as Killer Bee would say.
Huh.
Anyway, Vivi did grab Loom, so at least for now the villager count is still even. Though, obviously, once Loom comes in for Yhinghua, Vivi will be a villager ahead. Scout's at 9 HP, so obviously pretty low, but shouldn't be too much of an issue, and I think Vivi can be quite happy with how this early game has gone.
Yeah, obviously killing the villager, having all the scouting intel, uninterrupted start at home as well. Well, double goading. It's not the prettiest thing ever. His map, kind of okay-ish. Looks like scouts to me.
Yep, I think Scout War is pretty much what you would expect in this situation. And yeah, as you were saying, well, as I was saying when you were AFK, I really like Vivi's map in terms of it being quite wallable. Not the greatest wood lines in the back, but at least it's workable. Actually, going with the double forward lumber camp, interestingly enough. Yes, the gold is forward, but as you can see by this house of Vivi, it is, and the barracks, I guess, as well, it is still pretty wallable in, I guess, like the medium run. So that can definitely be something Vivi has working for him, and of course the rest of his map pretty wallable as well. What do you think of Yinghua's map?
Well, one open wood, one defensive wood. Everything feels so spread out, right? So, yeah, it will be a lot of walls needed if he wants to wall everything individually. I think it will just be mass scouts against mass scouts, and then it will be tricky for Yhinghua with less HP. Will be a tricky one. Gold quite open as well.
Yeah, I think just everything very spread out is pretty much the perfect characterization of the map of Yhinghua. It's just everything's in every direction. And it's nothing super easy to wall. And if we're in the situation of a scout war, I mean, this has to be really nice for Vivi. As you can see, he's walling himself in right now. And if your opponent's base is super open, but your own base is not very open, I mean, that's just a massive edge in the war of mobility.
Yeah. Thing is, like, Vivi's eco will be a bit worse, trying to wall that much. Also, like, going for 3 goats at the same time. Okay, now only 2. But, well, better berries.
He killed the villager, right?
Yeah. Yeah, true. Well, will be a tough one. But yeah, I absolutely agree. Playing walled against a guy who's playing super open is always so much easier.
Oh, yeah. As all of my games are a testament to. Go for the raid, opponent walled, and the moment you get to your opponent's base, like 10 archers show up in your wood line.
Feels Ornlu, man.
Feels Ornlu, man. But yeah, there's going to be a scout war coming in here. We already see 4 military to 2 in favor of Vivi, obviously at a pretty massive advantage. Scout very low for Yhinghua, as that was not the original scout of Vivi, that was another scout. My chat's saying that the stone of Yhinghua, the secondary stone, is bugged, and I think it is.
Oh yeah.
But does that not count for the adminry?
Well, it would, but what can I say about this tournament?
Yeah, it's not our call. It's obviously Yhinghua didn't take issue with it. Otherwise, you would have said something.
Yeah. Like most tournaments, or I think, what was it? I think ECL, you can call admin restart, but you need to call it before minute 6. Something like that.
I'm pretty sure you're correct on that one.
So maybe didn't scout it at that point either. But still, since those games are live, I think admin should just call an admin restart here.
Yeah. Oop. Poke came in from good old Mr. Pokey Poke, and that will be the first kill of Yhinghua. But down 2 villagers from the outset, not really where you want to be. Does have the cheaper Indian villagers to work with, but Frank's with free horse collar, already going to be finishing up the forage bushes as well. Gonna be a nice little eco for both players.
Yeah, Yhinghua needs to play very defensively here, is walling his one wood line, the other wood line. Somebody exposed one spearman to defend, now pulls away his scouts. Let's take a look. Spearman is going down, but takes a scout with him.
Yeah, definitely more work coming in from that spearman than I would have thought at first. Even getting another scout right there, but I mean the numbers are just so heavily in favor of Vivi, and oh god, this is looking like my games right here.
Oh god. Villagers going down, and just taking one aggressive spearman was so nice here for Vivi, getting 3 scouts here. Oh god.
That spearman paid for itself, to say the least. Yeah, so a little under a 2-to-1 KD in favor of our red player. Now 4 villagers ahead, Nilly.
Oh, that's just brutal. And, well, 3 more scouts coming over. Spearman production kind of stopped. He's sitting at 300 food at the moment. What is his transition? Now goes for an archery range.
So... yeah, Vivi's going for the archery range? Or Yhinghua is. I haven't seen archery range.
Uh-oh, that might be another dead villager. Let's take a look to Spearman, though. Should be enough to scare Vivi away. What is his transition?
There's a blacksmith for Yhinghua, getting a forging.
Why would he get forging?
To be a do-it-yourself Magyars.
Huh.
But, I mean, obviously it'll affect both the spearmen and the scouts, which is likely the reason for it, but that's a lot of food you're going to have to invest when you don't have much of an army, so you're going to have to invest the army as well as the technologies, and that's just going to delay your castle age time so much.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. Oh, tries to go for the quick walls here, loses 1 villager for it, and the scout's still getting out. Another win for Vivi.
Yeah, and like this is just what we were saying from the very beginning, where the map of Yhinghua is so open, whereas Vivi, he's just full walled, he's just chilling, he has very nicely placed farms, very pleasing to the aesthetics, and yeah, he'll be clicking up to the castle age any second right now.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I really love Hunt, because it can build farm next to farm without a single gap, and with other civilizations, houses are sometimes blocking that.
Oh yeah, I mean the feng shui of Vivi's base is just on point. all the good vibes, and even the scout war. Of course, the +1 attack is perfectly counterbalanced by the extra 9 HP.
Okay, let's take a look. Scouts now coming around. Spearman again out of position. Villagers quite high HP though, so scouts cannot get the kill for now.
For now, I think is the correct terminology, because forging is on the way for the fat dragon, but there are a lot of spearmen here. There are, what, 6 spearmen here for Yhinghua? These scouts are going to have to be uber careful if they want to get out alive, and I think that it would probably just be better for Vivi to recognize that he's gotten a lot of damage done, he's in a very good position, just run away with the scouts actually just trying to take the engagement, and looks like that was a good call, able to kill, I think, is that 2 for 1 for Vivi?
Like it, yeah. So what's the plan for Vivi now? I don't really see him doing too much if he goes for knight here. I think adding 2 TCs instantly should be the right call.
I like 2 TCs instead of the second stable. I guess the 2 stables is, I guess, okay if you're thinking you're going to have a much faster castle age, because he will. Ooh, then getting another villager kill right there. But yeah, 2 TCs and I think like pikeman defense should be really good if you're Vivi right now.
You think you really need a defense to begin with? I think Indians, they will take some time until they ever get into the aggression. And then you can have X-Men.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I think, like, just, sort of a cursory defense, but mostly focusing on the boom, especially given how good the map is of Vivi, even taking the TC on the other side of his wall. But I think, as Pete noted in my chat earlier, both of the stones of Vivi are forward, so he's going to want to claim control of that. But I think with some cheap Frank castles, some pikemen, some monks, stuff like that, I think he should be in a really good spot.
Yeah, I think so as well. Still has all the intel, and Yhinghua, well, his spearman will be so slow. Now goes for +1 defense on them. Maybe he is the one going for the pikeman aggression.
That feels so weird, though, right? Because Indians, I guess the Indians have not fully upgraded halberdier, but they do have up to halberdier. So I guess that should be fine, but the thing is, not so great at actually applying pressure, unless you have like forward siege workshops and stuff as well, and it's not really what Yinghua's going for.
Look at the lion. Going super mad through the whole base of Yhinghua here.
Don't mess with the lion, man.
Okay, Yhinghua adding 2 TCs as well. Maybe 6 villages ahead for now. But not really going for too much stone, so Axemen won't be around the corner for now. Mainly knights.
Yep, mainly knights gonna be versus mainly pikemen and camels. We all know how that one goes, but I don't think that Vivi doesn't really have an imperative to do a lot of damage right now. He's just trying to, keep his opponent on his toes. I think he has husbandry as well. Just kind of raid him when possible. And just work towards getting that super powerful eco and the deadly Frank late game.
Yeah, okay, let's take a look. Knights taking now a reasonable engagement against all the camels, obviously counted on paper, but with those numbers advantages, Vivi will just take that fight. Is now running away from the pikeman, though. Is he trying to take this engagement? I think he needs to run away. Can we see some quick walls here at the top? Villager could block this off. Quick gate? No.
Oh. And yeah, there's not really much going on right there as far as damage done. But it's not like something that Vivi is investing heavily into. He's just trying to work around the edges, maybe snipe some villagers on the periphery, but just really leaping ahead in terms of villager count. 14 villager lead right now. I'd actually like to see a 4th TC from him. Maybe like securing the secondary gold and stone and the front of his wood line. I think that'd be really good.
I think he will just try to finish it here in Castle Age. Looks like at least aggressive siege workshop. Maybe some more villages on stone, and then just attack. The very unfortunate TC number 3 there at the front. I think some Mangalons could be really ugly against Yhinghua.
Yeah, definitely. Just really nice position for the siege workshop. Also, Vivi grabbing some relics. It's something little, but I always like to point it out when players that have map control just grab relics early on, as it can literally win you the game in a protracted game, and it's just nice to have. Actually, snipe here from Yhinghua on the monk, though. Really nice from him.
Yeah, he kept that, expecting a monk to come around there. And Vivi, quite active with collecting all those relics. Is seeing, not really the one in back of his map, but might get 4 nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. And that will just help him so much in the long run. Even if this game goes to a long run, which is obviously no guarantee, because the Mangonel's going to start working away at the town center of Yhinghua once it figures out how to orient itself.
Okay. Mass camels now for Yhinghua. I think maybe some barracks could be nice. Forced to see by Vivi, by the way, as you wanted to see from him. And pikeman upgrade. Vivi's going for it here in Castle Age.
Yep. But look at how many camels there are for Yhinghua. They're going to have +1/+2 really soon. That's a lot of camels. And there aren't that many spearmen. There's only 5 spearmen here, about to be pikemen.
Yeah, Monk sees it. Let's take a look. Can he get a conversion? Quite important. And he won't get one. Now Knights going to the front. That's a horrible engagement here for Vivi.
Yeah, that's conversely a beautiful engagement for Yhinghua. And Monk gonna try and get another conversion and not gonna be successful. Will get one finally for Vivi, but he's gonna need to throw down way more barracks. Even the Mangonels are gonna be really out of position if Yinghua is able to spot them, and I think he has somehow. I have no idea how.
Well, it's quite surprised as well, but is catching them off guard now.
Spidey sense is there for Yhinghua, and but how is he going to get some damage done is my question. I mean, Vivi is so well positioned defensively. He's got the TCs guarding his important resources. I guess the camels are just going to run right through. But the quick wall...
Not finished yet.
Not finished, not finished.
But camel's not too great under to see fire either way, even the Indian ones. Oh!
Yeah, even with Indians, pretty much I guess that just cancels out the bonus damage that buildings get against camels is I'm pretty sure +1. But yeah, just no base pierce armor makes them not so great. And here we go. This is what I wanted to see as well. Castle coming forward here for Vivi, right on his opponent's wood line on this forward TC. And yeah, with the bugged stone in the back of the base for Yhinghua, denying the main stone on top of it is just going to be so hard for him to get up to his own castle potentially.
Yeah, well, TC number 3 to begin with, right? Or TC number 4, I mean, the extra TC. Now moving all the villagers back. Is down only, quote-unquote, 10 villagers, but, well, what is his next army composition against those Franks? Maybe CA?
I mean, like I said in the very beginning, I really like CA against Franks. I think that Franks have very poor options against them. But, I mean, that's a total 180 in terms of your attack, right? I mean, he is going for the CA. So, right call there. And CA plus Camel sounds like a very good comp, but it is going to be pretty hard to upgrade. But again, Yinghua's macro, he's going to click up to Imp.
That's
like,
sick.
Any second. Like, this dude's macro has been totally on point today.
Huh.
Maybe going to be hot on his heels, though. Actually, even clicking up a little bit ahead just because Yhinghua wanted to grab Bodkin. Actually, no, he didn't have the building. He needs a monastery.
Yeah, I thought about that as well. Okay. So we're trying to rush that one out, and now
actually he needs another building.
He hasn't either? No university?
Yeah, he needs a university.
Aye. That delays him quite a bit.
Which also takes 60 seconds to build.
Not with 5 villages.
That's also true. Monks coming in, though, will be able to snag a conversion or 2. But of course, the CA will be able to chip away very slowly at the pikemen, even a throwing axeman, for good measure, because as we all know, there's only 2 things in life that are certain, that is death and taxman.
Okay, so what are the next steps of the 2 players here? Next forward castle by Vivi. He will put a lot of traps and kind of put on the stranglehold. CA defense here for Yhinghua, who lost more than he wanted to.
Yeah, certainly, and it's just how do you deal with the trebs? Because the pikemen are going to be able to be at the base of the trebuchets, and I feel like there's going to be absolutely nothing stopping Vivi from just knocking down the base of Yhinghua with total impunity.
Look at the stone now from Yhinghua in the back. Blocked by wood, trying to get it with 3 villagers. Well, it's a bit late to call admin restart now.
Can I have an admin restart? Krazini, please.
25 population behind here, and well, he's holding the front, but this will be getting more and more tricky. Vivi, I think if he gets the bombard cannons, just another card, so it's all unstoppable for Yhinghua.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Vivi's doing such a fantastic job of just kind of like slowly like putting the stranglehold on Yhinghua. There's just totally sort of blocking out any sort of area where he can expand, denying so many critical resources from him. Vivi now taking his opponent's main stone with the faster Imperial Age. Around, 25 villager advantage, double trebuchet production on the way.
And he actually goes for Cavaliers. Okay.
I'd go for Halb.
Interesting. Yeah, Halb could be a good option as well. Castle stopped here by Yhinghua. He's doing everything right at the moment. Just too far behind from mid-feudal age.
Yeah, certainly. And it kind of feels like the last game, right? Where Yinghua's like, he's playing well, he's doing all of the right maneuvers, like, past the feudal age. It's just, the feudal age is just being ruled by Vivi in these last couple games. Though, the overchop leads to a hole, and the mobile aspect of Vivi's army are the knights, which are going to perform quite poorly against the camels. So we will be expecting some losses here from Vivi, but that just totally opens up Vivi for his own counterattack, and there is a big fat nothing defending the space of Yhinghua.
And main TC going down most of the time says you're not looking too great in this game. And look at that, the eco in the back completely unprotected.
Yeah, Cavaliers totally running amok. Yhinghua calling the GG, and that will be game number 2 going to the Fat Dragon, or game number 3.
Oh man, that one hero spearman at the woodline. At minute like 15 or something. Killing 3 scouts in that battle, killing so many villagers, and from there on, it was all Vivi.
Yeah, no, just really good play from Vivi. Just, it's something I say about Vivi all the time. He knows how to take an advantage in the early game and just totally run with it, not go like super all in and like Castle Age, be able to boom up behind it and just get to this sort of overwhelming position that his opponent just can never catch up to.
Yeah, but also, we mentioned it earlier, Vivi's map was so much better than Yhinghua's as well. So open, and mass scouts could have killed him so easily. Then the knights did quite some damage as well. It was really tricky for Yhinghua to play with this map.
Oh, certainly. But still, I've still been very impressed with how Yhinghua's been playing. I think there is still the potential for him to take this series. I think that we could still go to a game number 5, but obviously going to be tournament life on the line for Yhinghua as we go into our game number 4 here.
Okay, let's take a look at the remaining civs, shall we? We're now out of Franks and out of Indians, so it's Malian Slav against Berber Slav. What do you like more?
I kind of like. Well, the Slavs obviously it cancels each other out, so it's. Do you like Berbers or Malians more? And I kind of like Malians a bit more against Slavs, but I kind of like Berbers a little bit versus Malians.
I think I kind of
What
like.
do you think?
I think I kind of like Berbers a bit more in both spots, but just very close.
Yeah, I mean they're 3 good civs, right?
yeah, obviously. Sorry, guys. I hope it all gets better in the future. Thanks so much for bearing with me. And I still hope you enjoyed the show. Why are Vikings banned? Because they were already picked in the previous rounds. Has needed only become BFFs? Not really. How did Slavs go from one of the least picked civs in KOTD to one of the most picked civs in KOTD2? People, well, changed their minds, how good they are. Just learned a bit about the civilization, how it plays out, how strong the farm bonus really is. But then in 40 minutes, Viper against Tado is scheduled. Yeah, I think I will be... I won't be sick anymore during NAC2. As I said, I think like on Monday... Oh no, let's say on Tuesday I'm back to 90%. Six-man Chinese Slavs. Potentially. Well. Yeah, it's a rough weekend for sure. When is NAC2? Oh boy. Welcome to the channel. You should rest and sleep. Staying in front of the PC and casting energy is consuming. Well, I can't sleep either. So, that's part of the problem. I think this night was one of the better ones. I slept from 8 AM till 2 PM. And The night before that I slept from like 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. or something. No, I won't invite Yhinghua to NAC. What it was back tea? You can read that up here. What do you think is the most underutilized Civ by pro players right now? Malay and Portuguese. How was your time in Manchester aside from getting sick? Well, I wasn't sick there, so that wasn't the problem. Good, I'd say. Yeah, I liked a lot of stuff there. Obviously liked a lot of people from the community, so that makes it so easy. Wasn't really relaxing, and I really needed to relax. That would have been better for me. And then coming home with the jet lag and sick didn't really help. I heard you breathe.
Hey, Dilly.
Hey.
So, my chat was right. It is going to be a Slav mirror. Who will win, the red army or the blue army? The pun doesn't work so well once it completed, unfortunately.
Well, without Russians, it doesn't work that well.
Yeah.
Bug, says Lux. Do we have a third bug?
Oh, that's a very bugged map. That is an incredibly bugged map.
Okay.
That is an aggressively bugged map.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the third bugged map already in the series. Sick.
Yeah, which is pretty surprising, right?
Yeah.
Because KOTD2 Arabia, like the forests are all clumped up. There aren't any like oases or anything like that. So I feel like it's pretty unlikely, I guess.
Yeah, and Yhinghua sees it. I think he shouldn't even continue playing this. Like, after he saw that? Although...
I mean, he might wait till the 4-minute mark just to see if maybe Vivi's going to call the restart.
Okay. But no, he just paused. And that will be the admin restart for sure.
I don't even know if he has like a secondary stone anywhere. Okay, no, he has a secondary stone, but it's like halfway to his opponent.
That's sick. Yeah. And indeed is the admin restart. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here, folks. Show's over. I think.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, the timer is increasing in increments of 1.
Okay. Are there no admin restarts? Well, there should be, but they didn't call it the first 2 times, so we were quite surprised by that. Jet lag from Manchester, well, I was in the Bahamas for 2 weeks before that. That's why I still had the jet lag. It wasn't because of Manchester. And no food to eat. Feels bad, man. Just a few bits for NAC. Actually, thanks so much, but bits aren't going into the NAC pool. Thanks anyways. I hope you will find something to eat. Players have to call admin in KOTD2 as far as I know. But sometimes you can't know. I think if you have live admins there, I think it should be admins just calling it. If it's recorded games, players have to call it. If it's live games, admins can call it. In my opinion. Okay, everyone who doesn't want to see something disgusting now gets away. all the tissues I've been using only in the last 2 days. What have you done in the Bahamas? Play poker. From the cold. I jerked off a lot, yeah. I played PCA, yeah. Will T90 officially be allowed to cast an SC2? Sure. He got an invitation to come over here. I would have paid for his full trip, hotel, food, drinks, everything. But he refused.
All right, take 2.
Actually, he confirmed and then cancelled. Take
Nilly.
2? Nilly.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's you. You're Nilly. I'm Warrenlu. We're casting together. Life is
Oh.
good.
I forgot what we're doing here. Okay.
So now we are back here in game number 4, Slavmir. Vivi winning the last couple games with some very solid aggression. And he will be here in the red to the north of the map as the Slavs, of course. And his opponent, tournament life on the line, in the blue to the south of the map, also as the Slavs, is Yhinghua.
So most of the times players are going for scouts here. Man-at-arm aggression could be okay as well. Maybe adding in some spearmen early on. How do you like the maps? If I take a look at the gold spots of Vivi, quite open. If I look at the gold spots of Yhinghua, very defensive.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be quite nice for Yhinghua, but beyond that, the maps are just very open. Like these are 2 very open maps. Both have actually a nice backwood line with which to work, but beyond that, their maps are just both super open. I guess Vivi might be able to wall a little bit if he goes like way far forward past his gold, but I think only CL would go for that.
Huh. Okay. Let's take a look. So defensive stones for Vivi and aggressive stones for Yhinghua. I'm curious how they will play this out. What do you think? What are the strategy choices of the 2 players?
So I was actually thinking about this in the all the waiting we were just doing there. I think that on paper this matchup might favor Yhinghua a little bit, as he's definitely the more defensive macro-oriented player. Slav's obviously a very sort of defensive macro-oriented civilization, so we might actually still see some like men-at-arms play from Vivi. Of course, scouts would be your sort of, I would say, default opening with Slavs, as you are just that much more incentivized to get. Oh, fail. Doubt lure.
That wasn't a pretty one. Okay. And Vivi calls 359.
Rip.
Okay.
It was pretty bad.
Only because of the board, right?
Yes.
Or did he scout all his bad gold spots as well? Yeah, he saw all the bad gold spots as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad map, bad lure. No reason not to.
Yeah. Me, bad pick. Okay. Next try coming up pretty soon. Good map get denied. What? What event did you play at PCA? Let me do that. Stupid boar is actually good for Vivi. Was it a stupid boar? I think he misplayed that. I think he shot too early. What do you think about the KOTD2 maps? Are there more than one? I honestly can't tell enough because I haven't played it. Now if I look at it, I don't mind the bug maps from time to time. People aren't really happy with the map, from what I heard. But for me, it's fine. Oh, giant. Didn't I just say poker? Then they were very critical of the map yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I know that T90 is. We talked some in Manchester. He didn't like it. I think Shiban and CC start. Yeah, we'll have that for NC2 as well. For every map as well. What are we exactly waiting for? Did you just join, Philip? We just had a restart and now waiting for the next game to launch. After the series, we will have Tato against Viper, by the way. Spectator hasn't started yet, so I'm here for some more. Hi, Neil, thanks for the free subscription. Thanks for being around. Think that happened in the gift sub promotion, right? Will you cast all the remaining matches for KOTD2? Yes. It's only next Saturday and Sunday, right? Would you prefer more a good map or good civ? Well, it's way more complex than that. What is Viper with Tato playing? What source did you check? Did you check AOE2 calendar? Did you scroll down below? Did you check AOE zone? And did you check the title? So 4 sources that could have helped you finding out. Migo. Remember KOTD was Viper versus Leo in the final? That's true. It's still the possible finals for KOTD2. Yep. I won't take any pills. YT90 and Dave criticized the map picks. What? What?
Take 3, Nilly, let's go.
Take 3, I'm ready.
All right, let's try this again. We have Vivi in the red to the east of the map as the Slavs. And Yhinghua in the blue to the west of the map, still as the Slavs.
Way.
Something up?
No.
Oh, okay.
Typing it up. Way. I didn't see my hands raised and shaking.
Oh, okay. I thought you said wait.
No.
I'm like, no, not another admin read.
Okay, I didn't check yet.
Yeah.
Stone.
No,
Oh. What about that other stone spot? Let me check the handbook. Less than 4 tiles of a player-specific stone are accessible on one side. Yeah, that's another admin restart. The stone of Yhinghua.
For Yhinghua?
Yeah. His second stone.
That's 3 tiles. It's the same as the...
No. Less than 4 tiles of a player-specific stone. Yeah, that's...
Does the diagonal tile count as a spot?
What? No.
I mean, I wouldn't count it, but,
Yeah.
you know. I haven't looked at the rule book in a while.
Yeah, that's an admin restart again. Oh, man.
Blame Crazini for making the map. Which is funny because, like, I feel like most of the time KOTD2 Arabia, like, gives pretty reasonable maps to both players.
Okay. Huh. Well, I think maybe they played this out. Is this admin set off.
Oh, Demi's red.
Both are secondary stones. What?
No. Yhinghua is main stone.
especially stone accessible on one side. What? I think Proxer's confusing with something.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, they will play it. If they didn't restart the other one, which had
Yeah.
pretty much the same stone, they would just let this one play as well.
It's secondary.
Yeah, but
But
that's not what the rules say. So
yeah,
let
that's not what the rulebook says.
Yeah, extra stones that don't belong to particular players are excluded. But those are not extra stones.
Yeah, no, those like the tertiary golden stones, like to the north of the map, for instance, like if those are bugged, that doesn't count. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
That is pretty clearly Yinghua's secondary stone.
Huh.
Also, Yhinghua taking a little bit of damage to the TC of Vivi, who actually already has a farm up. Wanted to get that Slav farm eco up and running.
Did you know Archcoven? Yeah, played a lot with him. I will answer questions specific to that after the game. Especially if I have a co-cast, it's tough for me to answer questions in the chat during the game.
Anyway, so 2 lumber camps here on this back wood line of Yhinghua. Eventually he'll chop through to that stone.
Just looks like... Yeah, well, eventually. Just looks like scouts from Yhinghua and probably scouts from Vivi as well. Pop 21 against Pop 20 from Yhinghua. Quite a nice opening.
Yep, nothing too crazy. I think that over the course of KOTD2, I've definitely been seeing players that open for scouts very much favoring the 20 pop openings whenever they can, just because you're able to lure the zebra a bit more consistently on this map. And I think the 20 pop scouts are way better against men at arm openings than the 21 pop scouts.
I always hate to play scouts against men-at-arm forward.
Oh, I do too. I hate playing against it, but I feel like with 20 pop scouts, there's at least there's a chance.
Yeah, potentially.
And the barracks of Vivi is about 1 tile further away from Yinghua's TC than Yinghua's own barracks.
What?
Look at Vivi's barracks location.
Okay, yeah. Going quite aggressively there. And what is that? Spearman? Forward? I think it's just Spearman, right? He's not on stone.
Yep, this feels like the Chinese classic of forward barracks, archery range, skirmishers, spearmen. They're like a tower aspect of it, but it's not like super heavy focus on the towers. And oh no, the stable's getting denied right now.
Spearman production now starting in the barracks of Vivi just so much later. So first Spearman will be out for Yhinghua.
Yep, I think maybe the barracks was a little too far forward for Vivi. Anyway, what? That was weird. Tower thrown down and then instantly cancelled.
Yeah, well, after Yhinghua went back, it only comes down to Spearman production. I think you shouldn't really build a scout here for your Yhinghua. Scout can't do anything at the moment.
Yeah, I think probably just save food for making sure that you have constant villager production, making sure you can get all your like eco techs and stuff. And well, tower coming in. 2 lumber camps right here. It would be a really bad position should this get established for Vivi. And because of the good old free tracking upgrade that Slavs get, Yhinghua knows this tower's coming up, but he's not doing anything about it.
Oh, well, maybe he wants to move to the left-hand side. And now he banked up for 4 scouts and is trying to go for the counter-attack. And for Vivi, it's pretty much impossible to send Spearman back.
Yeah, I mean, this is, of course, the downside of having the forward barracks. I mean, he's sending a spearman back, but dude's got a long way to go home, and the spearmen just represent such pitiful offensive presence at killing villagers, as they have same attack as a villager, but with a way slower attack speed and no armor.
Oh, man. And now it's the time for Vivi to call an admin restart, because the stone he is taking is the bugged one.
Can I get an admin read because my opponent's stone that I'm taking because I'm forward is bugged?
Well, it's still
yeah,
fine with
archer
4
range.
villages. At least for
Yeah.
now.
Archer range coming in here for Vivi though, or sorry for Yhinghua, going to be going over to his own stone. And I guess the tower doesn't range the villagers just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's going to need fletching from Vivi and then one more layer of trees to chop through before the tower ranges those villagers.
I don't think so. I think fletching alone would be enough. Or one line.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I meant that fletching or the one. Yeah, my bad. Anyway, another tower coming in. Villagers going to try and come in. Will be able to establish a defensive tower.
I think
Yhinghua has plenty of...
Vivi doesn't see it. Uh-oh. Vivi could lose some villagers here.
Yeah, this definitely could be a bit of an issue. Oh, the scouts are ready. The scouts are ready for Yhinghua too. Palisade actually getting deleted, right, or not deleted, but killed.
Oh. Okay, Vivi will at least save some of those villagers. Will he lose one?
The tower isn't walled for Vivi. He's trying right now, but oh, he actually will be successful. Actually, if I were Yhinghua, I might have even just focused running to the base of the tower with the scouts to prevent any sort of wall in, because there aren't any spearmen nearby.
I wouldn't mind that either. But on the other hand, you can just build one spearman and scare all the scouts away again.
Yeah, exactly. But still, getting the villager kill there, quite nice for Yhinghua. 5-to-1 kill-death ratio. Definitely doing a much better job of fending off against Vivi's aggression this game.
Yeah, very little losses thus far, only losing one single unit. And, well, where Vivi now with the scout switch, I don't really see him doing too much unless Yhinghua leaves his position at the stone.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, Yhinghua obviously already had the scout advantage to begin with, and no reason he's going to be losing that anytime soon. Yhinghua pretty safe at home. Scouts will be able to, dive bomb through the farms if they want to. That would obviously be a pretty risky move for Vivi. Who has a 2-3 villager lead?
Kind of weird, right? Yhinghua had to have a lot of idle TC.
Yeah.
Another weird defensive tower by Vivi, but we'll go up.
Tower from Vivi will be just fine. And actually, Vivi with more scouts here than Yhinghua? Seems strange. Oh wait, Vivi deleted a... Oh no, he's gonna... No, he's not! Oh no!
Oh, and the bull line is open now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But still, even if it's not open, there's an archer and a skirm behind.
Yeah, so Vivi's gonna have to pull everybody back, but his scouts are on the other side of the map. Spearman coming in for Yhinghua, not paying attention, unfortunately, not getting a single poke off before it dies. As both players are, of course, very much at the limit in terms of their micromanagement.
Oh, and... Oh, God. Some hits there off. Huh. Tricky situation.
Yeah, both players definitely very tricky spot. Yhinghua is getting the blacksmith up, though. Should be quite nice for him. And as his barracks is at his own base, he'll be able to make Spearman defensively quite comfortably. And that is a tower foundation for Vivi, so he must be coming forward again. And indeed, he is coming forward with 4 more villagers. Spearman trying to get some damage done, but yeah, there's just too many spearmen here, too quickly produced for Yhinghua for Vivi to really get the damage done that he wants. And meanwhile, Vivi himself is having a lot of idle TC time.
Okay, well, Vivi, let's take a look. He is going for bloodlines and all those towers aggressively here. We see some archers and spearmen. Yhinghua should be able to defend this.
Yeah, I definitely think
towers as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's been gathering stone this entire time, and yes, instantly sees the tower, so will be putting up his own defensive tower. I actually think that's a little far away.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, Yhinghua up to Castle Age.
Whoa, that explains why he's being so defensive. He doesn't really care too much about the military production, but again, I've been saying it all series, but dang, this guy's macro has been totally on point. Yeah, tower going to be coming up for both players. Not going to be too impactful. Does the tower of Vivi come up and deny the tower of Yhinghua since he has 4 villagers building it?
That's 50% against 40%. It feels like both towers might go up. Although, Yhinghua, 65, 69. I think both towers will go up, yeah.
It's definitely close. I think if Yhinghua spams right click...
He doesn't. Oh, that was a mistake. I think he should have saved one villager.
Yeah, I should have. I think one villager dies no matter what, but I think he should have saved the other one.
Oh, and now scouts.
Whoa, big run by.
And they have a lot of HP left still.
Yeah, this might have been a little too greedy from Yhinghua. Quick house wall coming in, but most of Yinghua's army is on the other side of the map right now.
And if he has a hole at that wood line, I think that might be the GG. With all those houses.
Yeah, well, he lost 2 villagers there.
Let's take a look.
Not so great.
It has to be walled. It has to be walled. And it is.
Looks like it is.
Okay.
And Yhinghua will hit Castle Age. And he does have at least reasonable amount of resources in the bank. We'll be able to make a knight or 2. And Vivi just clicking up right now.
Uh-oh. No, another raid at the gold spot.
There is a couple spearmen here, and then they might just buy enough time for the knights to come out. Or not. The knight was kind of misrallied a little bit. So yeah, even more villager kills there for Vivi, now 10 villagers ahead of his opponent. Though Yhinghua will likely at least catch up a little bit. As I say that, he's losing even more villagers though, so I guess that's neither here nor there.
But he's also killing some of the forward tower.
Oh yeah, there he is. So, yeah, obviously, nice little move there for Yhinghua, of course. We'll be able to catch up a little bit due to his opponent researching the Castle Age technology. And since he's going to be so far ahead in terms of actual knight production, might be able to see our blue player make a little bit of a counterattack happen. Even think of another defensive town center.
Okay, let's see. So 1 TC and scouts, they're back again. Now way low HP, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah. +1 attack as well. Going to be so good at killing villagers. And I said this like a while ago, but Yinghua's base is still open to scout dive bombs, and that is exactly what we're seeing Vivi do right now, and to pretty fantastic effect. But on the other side of the map, Vivi himself, a couple of villagers very exposed. Scouts do at least have +1 attack, so they will be killing the villagers in 1 less hit. And yeah, this is about as messy a game as you would expect with Vivi in it.
Oh man, yeah. Villager difference only at 3 at the moment, and those knights, they could maybe find something at the wood line. Chopped over there, let's take a look. Now tries to get a TC up. Yhinghua, can he maybe spot that? Not really for now. Is this maybe somewhat of an even game? Because those 3 villagers at the front of Vivi could die as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're very likely to die, and I think it's going to be a matter of who has the better transition out of this. It's pretty even in terms of comedy. Even Vivi's losing another villager right there, but Vivi does have the pikeman with +1/+1. So he should be at least in a better spot defensively. So the question is, will these players choose to go aggressive in the Castle Age with, either a bunch of knights or siege and pikemen or something, or will they try and play defensive and boom? Yinghua's building a second archery range, which definitely confuses me a little bit.
Yes, well, I thought he'd build like 1 archer to kill the forward villagers there, but a second archer range? If so, then I would have accepted, quote unquote, CA, but archers feel so weird.
Slav CA?
Well,
no thumb ring?
Well, it's never really pretty, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at least crossbows are more usable without thumb ring.
Okay.
I just feel like it's almost never worthwhile to go for CA if you don't have thumb ring. Also, another tower for Vivi at the wood line of Yhinghua will be denying that, forcing another exodus of villagers. But meanwhile, the towers at the front of Yinghua's base will be cleaned up. But Vivi, knowing that the villagers are having to make this this trek, going to be trying for the big counterattack raid with these knights.
Oh, and we'll snack some.
Taking a fair amount of damage on the knights, though, as there was 1 spearman there. But like I said, Vivi has the pikemen. Yhinghua doesn't. He has 3 archers that aren't even crossbowmen. So this could be a little bit messy. It's going to be cost efficient at a minimum, I feel, for Vivi right here. I guess all the pikemen did end up dying to the towers and archers and stuff.
Yeah, well, the archers without fletching didn't contribute too much there, I believe.
Yeah, the pikemen even had +1 defense.
Yeah. Whew, tough to say. Who's ahead? Seems like 2 TCs for Vivi, 2 TCs only for Yhinghua as well.
Yeah, so both players on the same TCs. Vivi's a little bit ahead in terms of villagers. Kill-death ratio is exactly even right now.
Changes now, I wanted to say, but disengagement from Vivi. Knights from Yhinghua trying to go for a raid. Let's see if they can find something. Maybe an overchop at the woodline there, but that's only 3 villages.
Yes, but meanwhile, 2 monks, actually 3 monks here from Vivi, has several knights and pikemen. And that could get a lot of work done against Yinghua's base. He's actually another tower coming up. Is Yhinghua aware of this? Not in the slightest. Oof.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. Yhinghua at least getting fletching now. So that will be pretty good against no defense knights, pikemen and monks. So the crossmen will do quite a bit. The TC even will be out of range of that tower. Yhinghua having troubles really having the wood control.
Yeah, definitely been a big problem for him all game long. And funnily enough, these 3 villagers that were forward initially from Vivi are still alive. They're still kicking, and they're probably going to get close to mining out his opponent's stone. That's going to be pretty annoying for Yhinghua. Though Yhinghua, interestingly, still has a lot of villagers on stone. Like, this is a lot of villagers on stone. And I wonder if he's going to try and go for a castle just to defend himself and maybe go Boyar?
Boyar isn't really a good unit in that spot, I believe.
I guess they're pretty bad against the monks. Obviously, Boyars are insanely good against knights. But obviously not so much the pikemen, since having 2 extra melee armor doesn't matter when you have +22 damage.
Yeah, it seems like that amount of villagers on stone kind of has to be a castle and potentially an aggressive one, right? Maybe close to the gold spots of Vivi.
It's certainly a possibility. Main gold forward for Vivi, secondary gold forward as well. Other secondary gold kind of also towards the bottom of the map. But we'll have to see. University coming in, likely just for the ballistics tech, but really, we do see Vivi climbing pretty far ahead in terms of economy right there, but the Knights are getting at least a couple villager kills before the TC is established. 1 conversion almost instantly there for Vivi. Crossbows have arrived at the party.
Yeah, the conversion was queued up from earlier, and well, those crossbowmen, they need to micro against those Knights. Vivi going for the +1 defense, and well, without any protection, that's not the greatest fight for those crossbowmen.
Yeah. If the crossbowmen had a bit of a better defensive position, I think it was okay. And even then, the crossbowmen aren't going to be the most cost ineffective, since the Knights had no armor upgrades whatsoever. But that's still not, I think, something you're particularly thrilled about if you're Yhinghua.
I don't want to sound mean, but I think that might be the game-losing move. Because Yhinghua, he's kind of banking on getting a good aggressive castle up, and with losing all those crossbowmen, I don't see that as an option anymore.
It's going to be tricky. I don't even know if he goes for the aggressive castle at this point. He's, well...
Defensive one. That doesn't make sense.
I kind of like the defensive castle more to begin with. I think that going for an offensive castle is incredibly risky, especially in this sort of situation. And I think if you're Yhinghua, you want wood control, and your wood is just so exposed right now that it's going to be very hard to secure without that castle to defend yourself. Knights, of course, only with the +1 armor aren't going to be particularly great against the crossbowmen. 4 monks, though, will force the deletion on the knight right there. Nice catch. Nice conversion attempt, and then nice delete there. And, well, we'll see Vivi pushed back, but still, again, working with around an 18 villager advantage.
Oh man, and this will be tricky for Yhinghua to come back. Now goes for TC number 4. I wanted to say, but actually that's a market. TC, so 3 TCs at the moment. Vivi still controls so much of the wood line. Goes for Boshaw quite late. TC number 4 now on the way. How does it look? Okay, both players quite far away from him. And Vivi, he just goes for the sneaky mangonel, tries to deny some more woodlines.
I guess that is indeed the case, and... Okay, honestly, making some Boyars here I don't think is a bad move. That's a lot of Knights committed for Vivi, and Boyars are insanely good against Knights.
I still think, like, numbers won't be high. Long numbers are okay against that.
Well, I was thinking more of like, okay, you're still making Knights, but kind of treat your castle as like a third stable almost. But regardless, big Knight run by here for Vivi, getting +2 armor as well. Lots of villagers coming forward. Does he have the stone for a castle? Indeed he does. He's playing the good old game of you, my opponent, will not take any wood whatsoever, but that's a big crossbow run by here for Yhinghua, and he does have ballistics on these guys.
Sweet stuff.
But I think this castle is going to go up for Vivi. I don't really see any ability for Yhinghua to deny that.
Yeah, no chance there. And Yhinghua needs to go for another woodline. He's getting some more raids in. 20 villagers behind, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his work cut out for him. Interestingly, he is ahead in the score right now, but is likely just from the kill deaths, and yeah, this cast is going to deny another wood line. It's going to be really annoying for Yhinghua to take any sort of wood economy. And the thing is, the Knights can just run back home, right?
And clear up the crossbowmen. Well, that's an option. He's sending some Knights back now, but not all of them. Tries to go back onto gold at the front, and Mangonel is coming over. That might be a good counter to that crossbowman raid.
Yep, the Mangonel will do great, and the Knights will be able to swoop in and kill the crossbowmen when they're trying to reposition against the Mangonel. Though Yinghua's getting some nice snipes here and there, it's just getting a few villager kills here and there isn't very impactful when your opponent has a 20 villager lead.
Why is he engaging without the Mangonel here?
No real reason. The Mangonel isn't even going towards the crossbow, and the Mangonel's going in the other direction now. I guess he just figures the Knights are going to clean up, but...
Okay. Well, they will.
I guess that's fine. I mean, +2 Knights are pretty good against crossbows.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, another sneaky tower by Vivi. Very ballsy, very much in the open here. Against that kind of last remaining woodline for Yhinghua. Crossbowman could die against Mangonel shots here. Do we see a ground attack? Maybe. That's so risky to Mangonel to round non-shooting. Oh, yo, yo.
So, several crossbowmen were lost right there, but the tower was denied, which is very important. But it's still, again, not something you're feeling great about if you're Yhinghua. Now down 50 population, Nilly. This is just looking worse and worse and worse for our blue player.
Oh, man, yeah. 30 villagers down, military count only at 10, more villagers being sent. And, well, Yhinghua, I think he just should have sent some knights to the left-hand side and clear up the tower, or maybe Mangonel, or Ram, or whatever. But for now, well, it's just the whole game is him being denied from wood.
Yeah, I mean, this has just been a masterclass from Vivi in just taking map control, taking control of the game, not allowing your opponent to do what he wants. Vivi was unable to do that in game number 1, which is why Yhinghua was able to just kind of smash his way through his opponent. But in games 2 through 4, it just seems like Vivi totally dictating the pace of the game, not allowing Yhinghua to do anything.
Oh, Yhinghua only now doing horse color as well. Quite ugly to have so many farms and only now getting that very important upgrade. Let's take a look. Night raids coming in at the woodline, and now there's the hole, and that's going to be ugly. That will be another 10 dead villagers. Oh,
possibly, and beyond, behind all of this, Vivi's clicking up to the Imperial Age, even could be killing some village pikemen. This just seems to be spiraling out of control further and further and further.
What an ugly game to play if you're Yhinghua here against Vivi. Yeah. Just so active, just so annoying everywhere.
Yeah, if you're on Yinghua's POV and you just look at the minimap, you just see all of the flashing dots everywhere. Everything is under attack from something. This is just how Vivi plays, and he's just so good at it.
Yeah, that's so true. He can really make scrappy games. It's incredible how he always puts you in so unfortunate situations.
And the thing is, Vivi is going to be so much more comfortable in these really crazy situations because he has so much more experience than almost any other player in these really scrappy games. that he like the decision making process for what to do next is, I feel like, way easier for him to make.
Yeah, agreed. 30 idle villages as well for Yhinghua out of 70 that he has. He's now trying to attack for pikemen, but soon Vivi will switch onto halberdiers as well. More raids. Vivi is just everywhere. Still so annoying. I think we will see him against Leary in the semifinals.
Yeah, and that looks good if you are my prediction bracket. And I think that if we do see Vivi versus Leary, which is obviously quite likely at this point, that should be a crazy series because it's going to be, Mr. Execution Mechanics Micro Focus versus you don't get to play Age of Empires 2.
Something like that. And a best of 7 series as well there. That should be so sick. And well, reaching in, Yhinghua has to tap out. Vivi, congrats.
Yeah, really well played from Vivi this series. Totally taking control of the game. What would you say was the biggest mistake Yhinghua made this game? Was it that crossbow push?
Yeah, I think so. Aggressive castle with crossbows. Maybe just overcommitted a bit on that stone. And I think the scouts didn't really do too much in the back. I think he just sort of continued with spearman production, pull villagers, go on stone. I think it's just production of spearmen at the start instead of scouts. Because you can never engage.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's just really easy for Vivi to quick wall in villagers at home.
Tricky spot. Next series instantly will be a Viper against Tedo, the last quarterfinal of the day.
Of the tournament.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it should be some good stuff. Do you have any predictions for this series going into it?
You mean score-wise or how the games will go?
Anything you have on your mind?
I talked a lot with Tedo, so I kind of know what he will play. And I say score will be 3-1 Viper.
Well, I think it's also going to be 3-1 to Viper, so I think we are in agreement. The last time I remember these two guys playing each other in a tournament setting was Masters of Arena 5?
Well, NAC happened after that, so.
Oh, yeah. So, what was the score from that series? Do you remember?
I think 4-1 Viper.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Okay, then let's talk after the TIFF draft, just shortly before the series will start on the.
Will do.
See ya.
See you in a bit.
Okay, I'm open for some questions if you have any. If Tati wins, Viper is the new Jordan, what? Yeah, Tati has no good shifts left. It's similar to the Leary MBL situation yesterday. Pretty unfortunate. Short of 5 with $5. Does KOTD stand for King of the Drush? King of the Deathmatch? I'm trying to figure out whether a top prize goes to Huang or Doubt. Ah, Kappa. What do you think, which place is Vivi on world ranking? 1v1, team game. What map? How much costs coaching with the best German player? Me, of course. Depends on how much I like you and how many lessons you book. Plan was something like 50 euros. Yeah, MBL versus Leary was a pity yesterday. Which game is the next one now? Look at the top, my friend. Oh. Who do you think is going to win the tournament? Viper? Has Leary a chance? Yes, surely. Surely. Do you plan on AC becoming something bigger in the future, or do you want to keep it small event? I absolutely enjoyed the first one. Love from friends. Thanks for the love. Well, we're already getting quite bigger, right? We expanded one day, we expanded by 33% in the players, we have 3 dedicated casters this time. So we're already getting bigger. Who do you want to win if it comes to Viper Leary final? Leary. By the way, tomorrow we will have... Who is it? Doubt against Fire show match, right? Yes. Oh boy. It's rolling names. Left hand side Viper, right hand side Tati. Do you think in the medium term organizing AU tournaments could be economically sustainable activity? I wish you great success. Well, that's what Escape TV is planning, right? How can Viper win everything and still troll most of the time? Well, he's not trolling in tough tournament situations. If Doubt loses show matches, can you still uninvite him from NEC2? No. Show match in English? Yes. But after that, German day. Franks? I can edit the brackets. Edit command bracket KOTD2. I didn't. Ah, didn't do that properly. Ah! Okay, now I should be fine. Question is Tato going for Koreans now or not? Malay could be an option. Britons. Okay. It doesn't really feel fair, right? That's how the tournament works. That's the music. Okay, series will start any second. Here in 2.5. Junket. What's up, Hippo lovers? The Viper against Tato. Best of 5 KOTD 2 quarterfinals. Better civilizations for the Viper, because you're not allowed to repeat those civilizations. Bone order with 5 gifted subs. I will give 5 subs back in between game number 1 and 2. Our co-caster again will be Mr. Onlu in this potentially very interesting series.
Yeah, I am definitely pretty excited for this one. Got, of course, 2 fan favorite players in the Viper and Tato, 2 secret players. We'll have the Viper starting off with Huns here to the west of the map. Well, I have him in as yellow, but do you want to go to team colors?
I think, especially on this map, I think team colors is a bit better. Let's go for him blue, Tato red.
Yep. Okay, so Viper will be in the blue now to the west of the map. Huns, of course. And, of course, to the east of the map, the other Central Asian nomadic civ, Tato in the red is the Mongols.
Central Asian nomadic civ. Oh yeah. Well, only two. Only two.
Yep. So I definitely have noticed Viper with a liking of going, like, starting off a series with Huns. So I think that's not too surprising. But what do you think of Huns versus Mongols?
Well, I honestly think Tato cannot play the super standard games. And Mongols, well, you can play something like Pop 19 Scouts, which will be tricky against Pop 20 Hunt Scouts. So I think he needs to, first of all, try to lame as much as possible. And after that, maybe even man-at-arm forward trash, maybe spearman trash or something. He should play something unconventional, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like Mongols are just kind of do everything that Huns do, but worse. Tato trying to go for the lame here. Viper saying no. Going to be chasing around Tato Scout. Viper even sending his goats to the edge of the map just to prevent potential conversions and then getting killed or something like that. But yeah, obviously not too much annoyance by Tato right there. And as I assume there isn't going to be a restart called. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we can talk about the maps now. Map not looking so good for Viper. Does have the wood line very far away from his base, and it's really his... Oh, no, Tato's actually able to abscond with a goat. But as I was saying, yeah, Viper's base, not looking so good. Not really fantastic wood lines, although he does have the gold and the berries and even the zebra in the back. So that's like something, but other than that, very open.
I don't mind Viper's map, honestly. Everything is defensively. Yeah, it's not the map where you can, oh, excuse me, build the beautiful walls and create an arena for yourself. But I think everything being so clumped up, this looks like a solid map.
What about the stones, though?
Well,
They're
those are
both
ugly,
forward.
but one of them close enough to the wood line. And if you
Yeah,
scout
but what if that's
properly,
the spot that Tato trushes?
well, then obviously it gets tricky, but it's so close to your wood line and should be scouted, right? That area.
Yeah. But I think in comparison to the map of Tato, gold at the back, stones are kind of off to the side for him as well. But it's at least a little bit more wallable. Although the hills are kind of make things kind of weird, kind of a normal-ish looking map for Tato.
Tato's still missing 2 of his sheep, now pushing some of the deer, and he will indeed play Pop 19. We're expecting Pop 20 out of the Viper. Let's take a look. Oh, he will play Pop 21 even.
Possibly. Yeah, I think that top 20 would make more sense for Huns in this situation. But shouldn't be too big of a deal. I'd say Pop 19 is probably standard for Mongols.
Wait. Don't you think Viper screwed up here?
Did he?
Like, why is he sending those 3 villagers on the deer that early? I think this will get a bit tricky with the 500 food.
I think it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
He needs to drop a bit. Okay. Well, 2-3 seconds out of time. That's totally fine. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. Anyway, Viper actually has found his opponent's goats, so we'll be able to get those back and should equalize, I think, the one goat that Tato stole. But Tato himself, he's got some zebra that are being fairly uncooperative, as zebra tend to be, which is why they were never domesticated. Fun fact.
Those are big walls here from the Viper.
Whoa. Yeah.
Okay, and Tato, he will just play scouts kind of as we expected. So it will be just a very simple scout war. But as I said, I think Viper, he will have a very clumped up fine map.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that Tato would be going for the Trush or something like that. But no, going to be normal scouts play. And from that